Welcome, spiritual travelers, to a Mystic Owl Picker card reading. Today's theme is self-love, how you can care yourself and what you need to do to heal. So we have 4 piles today for you. I don't know what the crystals are, so you're just going to have to bear with me. I think pile 1 is a tiger's eye. Pile 2 is this beautiful pink rose-colored crystal, which I don't think is rose quartz. So pile 3, I think, is amethyst. And pile 4, is it howlite? Green howlite? Anyway, if you have any idea, let me know in the comments section. So as per usual, please use your intuition to pick a pile. The timestamps will be in the description box below and in the comments section. Before we head in, I just want to pass on a message again about the Black Lives Matter movement. I think we need to keep that in the public eye, not let it sort of slip away. There's a chance of getting fatigued by the riots and by the movement, but we need to make sure that we keep powering on and send out a message of love so that everyone can have equality, no matter what the color of their skin is. So I'm all for continuing that message, and I will do for the next few readings. But on that, let's move on to pile 1. Hello, pile 1. With the tiger's eye crystal, I think. Let me know if you know what it is. Thanks. Let's find out how you can offer yourself self-love and heal. What your modality of healing is. We're looking at your cards. Your first card is number 33. Temper your criticism. Oh, I see here you've got speak no evil, hear no evil, and see no evil. You have number 2 and family. Belonging, community, culture, and tribe. Lovely. You have positivity, faith, and optimism. You open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. Do not allow negative energy or temporary setbacks to interfere with your path that you are on. Keep the faith and keep going. Beautiful message. And your tarot cards. Oh, you have the Knight of Matches. Adventure, action, energy, and passion. Oh, and you have the Chariot card. Wow. Determination, willpower, and control. Okay. Lots of fast-paced, action-oriented energy there for you, pile 1. I see a group here that has the tendency to really react quite quickly to things. And the reason I say that is because with the card of temper your criticism, and I guess both the Chariot and the Knight of Matches, I sense that you can get quite feisty or frustrated quite easily when things don't work out your way, or potentially if someone upsets you, you can get quite angry or aggressive quite quickly sometimes. A group that sort of goes from 0 to 100 pretty quickly. And I do sense that that can cause you a bit of grief sometimes afterwards. You can feel quite guilty about it too, I sense. But there is a need for this group here with the Temper Your Criticism card, number 33. I see a group that not only is probably quite critical of themselves, but also critical of others sometimes. That you have the ability to see how people can change their lives. With the Knight of Matches here, I see also quite a intuitive group, in a sense, that has the ability to see how others can change their lives for the better. And because of that, you have the ability to be a little bit like critical sometimes towards other people, but also quite critical of yourselves. As a group that maybe sees the best in everyone. Like the lion here associated with Leo being the zodiac of like being the best, or really achieving great lofty heights and being a leader. I sense that you also have the ability to see what people can achieve, and you like to try and guide them to achieving the best of their abilities, but also someone that also expects a lot of yourself too, that you can put yourself on a pedestal sometimes, pile one, and maybe those expectations are just a little bit too high sometimes. A group that's always on the go too. Lots of, like, as I said, fast-moving pace energy here with the Chariot and the Knight of Matches. Always on the go, always needing to achieve things. Always needing to be the best that you can be. And because of it, you can never really, I think, attain those lofty goals or expectations that you have. So it might just be worthwhile for you, Pile One, to take some time out to reassess your own needs and desires, and what it is that will bring you happiness. Because I sense that you're probably trying to push for the clouds, but maybe just reaching the top of the tree would be acceptable too for you. The top of the tree with the feathers in the nest. That was unintended. I am also seeing a group that could be quite spiritually inclined too. Positivity, faith, and optimism. You open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. Okay. The reason I say that is because you have here the card of positivity, faith, and optimism, but also the Knight of Matches, which is, for me, like the archetype of being on a spiritual journey. Like you've started undertaking those activities that will bring you closer to the divine in some way, and you're starting to commit your life to a higher purpose to some degree. I sense for you, Pile One, also that another means for you to bring self-love to yourself is to really commit to a higher path, really. To dedicate yourself to, I guess, a higher cause, or to like your religion, if you're very religious, or to practices that align you with like the divine in terms of meditating, or doing yoga, or listening to like meditation music or something like that. And a group that has a lot of wisdom to impart on other people too. As I said here, with temper your criticism, you are quite critical because you see the best in people. And you have a lot of like understanding on how people can change their life for the better. And a group that really likes to try and help people by imparting your own wisdom and knowledge. But sometimes maybe it can just come across a little bit too harsh. I also see a very, very family-oriented group here too. A group that could really get a lot of like joy and satisfaction, and start to sort of let go of any negative energy or tension by spending a lot of time with your family. And I say that because you've got here the Chariot too, which is associated with the zodiac sign of Cancer, who are the most sort of loving, compassionate of all of the zodiac. The group that likes to dedicate their lives to their home and their family, and will do anything for the people they love. Nobody crosses a Cancer when it comes to their family. You do not sort of diss a Cancerian's family, because they are all about raising a happy family and really finding that security, being around those people that they care for, and in being in that home loving environment. So a group that could really just get a lot of peace and satisfaction by spending a lot of time at home and being around loved ones. Having a lot of downtime by just spending time at home in your own secure environment for you, Pile One, is a way to really switch off your mind and to reset. To try stop going like full throttle all the time, but to just shut down and be at home around those people that really care for you, and vice versa. You may have some Cancer in your chart, like Sun, Moon, Rising. Lots of fire in this group too, with the red here and the family card, along with the Knight of Matches. A very compassionate, loving group, but also quite feisty and fiery because you want the best for people. On that pile one, let's get some further insight about how you can offer yourself some self-love and healing with the Commonplace Tarot deck. I also see a group that could get a lot of signs and synchronicities from their spirit guides or from the universe. You may get feathers coming across your path quite regularly. Know that that's actually a sign from the universe that you're on the right path, or whatever thought you were having at that time is sort of a confirmation that that thought was correct, or that you're on the right path. And I also see it because you've got here the symbol, like lots of symbols in the temper your criticism card. So signs and synchronicities could be a way that your spirit guides connect with you. I'm seeing here also what looks to be the I think if you can see that, it looks to be like the scales, like Libra. This woman is holding a scale, like the sign of Libra, indicating that you are a very loving and compassionate, but also a very fair and just individual that always wants to make sure that everyone is looked after. You don't stand for injustices, I sense, pile one, especially when it comes to your family. You like everyone to have a fair share of their own, basically, and you will really stand up for the people that you love. But home is definitely where you shine, pile one. Oh, interesting. So the two cards that came out for you are the Two of Cups in reverse and the Seven of Swords. I sense that potentially you've been betrayed in a relationship in your past, pile one. That someone's really burned you. You've been hurt or betrayed by somebody, and I sense that because of that too, you can be quite critical of people because you're kind of looking after yourself. You're putting up a wall so that you don't get burned again. A group that probably doesn't let too many people in, but those people that you have let in are like your rock and your life, your entire world, in a sense. A very loyal individual here. Like Leo being highly loyal. A very loyal individual that is they will do anything for the people they love. But because you've been burned in the past, you can sort of yeah, you know how to burn other people quite quickly and sort of move on really quickly from people that just don't treat you well. And I actually think that's probably for your best, pile one. Not to say to put up a wall. I think you need to break down that wall and allow more people in. But I do sense that you know, looking after your own needs by knowing when to like move on from certain people that are sort of trying to take advantage of you is actually quite wise. It's a good way for you to really like save yourself from more emotional pain. And because of it, this is why you're very critical of people too. You see the best in people and you want the best for people, but you also have a way of like seeing through bullshit and knowing when people aren't always being the most authentic with you. And so you know how to really move on quite quickly and to like burn them also. But there is a need for you to maintain optimism. I see a group here that potentially is looking to like raise a family or is actually trying to meet someone right now. And a group that really has some like amazing dreams that they wish to fulfill in this lifetime. It's time for you to just keep moving on that journey to dedicate yourself to something higher and know that your dreams will be fulfilled if you keep the faith, basically. But a group that could really do with yeah, learning to just sort of lower your expectations of yourself and others, because we're all human and we all make mistakes, but also to spend a lot of time with family and friends that give you that loving support. That's how you can really love yourself, by loving other people, pile one. Learning to be open and generous and kind. But knowing when to move on too. Finally, for you, pile one, let's get a closeout message for you from the universe has your back deck. I also see a very well-rounded individual too. So you've got fire energy here with the Knight of Matches. You've got the Chariot associated with your emotions and water. I see the scales there and the temper, your criticism associated with the sign of Libra. Also the swords. You've got the Seven of Swords here. The only thing that's really missing is Earth, but you do have the family card associated with your base chakra, or your root chakra, which is associated with the Earth too. So a very well-rounded individual that I think is really loving and supporting and has everything going for you. A highly confident individual too, I see. But you have been burned in the past, so you're wary of people's intentions sometimes. Ah, nice. Well, that's easy. Happiness is my birthright. Yeah. Awesome. I see a group that doesn't really need a lot to be happy. And that's a beautiful thing. You're happy when you're most happy, pile one, when you're around those people that you love the most, those people that you have let into your heart, that you've let down that guard for, that are supporting and gives you sort of warmth and comfort. And a group that does have some high expectations of themselves, but I think, yeah, just know that you don't need to achieve like Mount Everest to be the best in a way. Like, you are worthy just by being yourself. Happiness is your birthright. So just by being here and living and being around those people that you love is essentially all you need to be happy. That's all I have for you, pile one. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile two. So, pile two. With this lovely rose-coloured, like it's almost rose-water-coloured crystal. I have no idea what it is, but it's pretty. Looks like there's a heart there. Do you see that? Almost looks like a heart. Nice. Let's find out how you can provide self-love to yourself and allow yourself to heal by looking at your cards. Your first oracle card. You have the card of Release Fear. With the woman hiding behind the door. Number 25. Your tarot cards. You have the Three of Cups in reverse. Independence, gossip, alone time. Okay. Oh, you have the King of Matches. Nice. Born leader, vision and intent, success. Lovely. You have the card of Take Divinely Guided Chance. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. Nice. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. Okay, there you go. And your final card is number 30. And will, expression, assertiveness, self-control, and direction. My dog's sitting behind me, so if you can hear some scratching noises, that's him. Well, the dog that I'm house sitting anyway. Okay, the first thing that I've noticed, actually, for you, pile two, is that you have 3 threes here. So you've got the Three of Cups in reverse. You've got what looks like a 3 here to me. And you also have the 3 in the card of Will. expression, assertiveness, self-control, direction. So you've got 333, which is a number of expansion and growth, right? And it's also about creativity and self-expression, about learning to put yourself out there and to show yourself off to the world. I see a group, really, that is in fear, release fear of actually starting something new. I sense that you have realized that there's something that you're supposed to achieve, or that there's a creative path that you're meant to go down, but you're just a little bit afraid of sort of like getting out of your comfort zone and putting yourself out there, pile two. And the way that you can actually provide self-love is to take a chance, and to know that you are being divinely guided to do this. By putting yourself out there and actually following this new path that I sense you already know what it is, you're actually giving yourself self-love, because it's your calling in life. And when you find yourself aligning with your calling, then things start to fall into place and you'll just radiate joy and happiness, because everything that you do when you follow your path is right, and it just feels so right at your core, deep down to your soul, basically. And not only that, but a really, really strong, like powerful group here. You've got the King of Matches, vision and intent, born leader. You're supposed to be in the spotlight somehow, pile two. This is a group that is actually supposed to sort of stand out with the Three of Cups here, stand out on your own, be independent, and actually go after this thing that will bring you joy and happiness. Learn how to self-express, get your voice out there, and do whatever it is that you are feeling guided to do. There is definitely fear here. It says here, release fear in the card of number 25, but also the card of take a divinely guided chance. It says here, as you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. So a group that I think is sort of kind of deliberating between, staying in your comfort zone where you feel secure, and even though it may not bring you complete satisfaction, it's something that you know already. And then also a group that is sort of wanting to get the confidence to really go after this thing that will bring them like abundance and joy, but you're just not sure how it's going to pan out yet, or if you will be successful. But the cards are really indicating that you're supposed to be in the spotlight with the King of Matches here, and that it is divinely guided. And with the word of will here, like the power to actually do something, like take a chance and dedicate yourself to something bigger than yourself, pile two. Because it's going to bring you, like, not only will it bring you happiness and emotional satisfaction, but I sense it'll be quite abundant also. With 333 here in expansion, the number of expansion and growth, your future is looking amazing. I sense that I sense that not only will you find happiness and emotional satisfaction, I just saw 555 there too on the clock, which is all about, making a change, basically. It will bring you financial satisfaction and abundance, but also provide for your needs in the future. I also sense that potentially you could get another message, pile two, from pile three too. With the 333, if you are deliberating between pile two and pile three, there might be another message for you in pile three. Just a food for thought there. And you don't need to rush into this either, pile two. And I say that because you've got the turtle here, or the tortoise moving really slowly across the sand, taking one, concrete step at a time towards your goals. If this is quite daunting, there's something that you want to do, like changing path, I sense. And that can be really scary and daunting, but all you need to do is just make a list of those things that you need to do and just tick them off one by one, and just make secure steps on them week by week until you start to get more confidence in yourself about where you're going and what you're doing. But I see a group that's meant to share their voice too. With the card of will here related to the throat chakra with the blue. Taking a divinely guided chance and risking something, but also the King of Matches, putting yourself out there and being a leader. A group that's supposed to share their voice or their gift somehow. You may have a beautiful singing voice and you've always wanted to be a singer. Or you may have thought about starting a YouTube channel or something like that. But there's something about your voice that you should be sharing to the world. I also see a group that may have a lot of Leo in their chart too. A group that likes to be in the spotlight. And they should be in the spotlight. Sun, Moon, or Rising, potentially. Like your North Node, maybe in Leo. Or also your 10th house, sorry, might be in Leo too. Something to look into. But on that pile too, let's get some further messages for you about how else you can look after yourself and provide self-love with the Commonplace Tarot deck. I do sense that also for you, pile 2, it might be worth starting to do some shadow work and actually making an inventory of those things that you are afraid of, so that your fears don't hold you back anymore, and so that you can actually, enjoy, you can actually be more confident in your own abilities. So make an inventory of those things that you're afraid of. When I was starting to do all of this sort of inner work and shadow work, along with starting tarot, I made an inventory of the things that I was afraid of, and I came up with things like speaking in public. Jen was one of my things, because I had a lot of issues when I was younger with my voice. I had fear of success as something that I was afraid of too. Fear of being rejected was something else that I put down on my list. It might be worth you confronting your own fears and actually starting to face them head on. But just know that it's not something that you need to do all at once. These things you can battle and tackle one by one. And the more you overcome your fear, the more confidence you'll have. And the more confidence you have, the more confidence in your path too. Your first tarot card, it's the Ace of Wands in reverse. Interesting. And you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Now that's really interesting. So the Knight of Pentacles in the upright position is all about slow growth and slow movement towards your goals. And financial stability, basically. This is something that takes time to achieve. But both of these cards in reverse, the Ace of Wands is all about inspiration and passion, and I sense that you are inspired in the sense that you have got a new creative passion that you're inspired by, but you are really just afraid to start this journey. I sense that you get into panic mode sometimes about feeling the need to really just take off on this journey, but you're afraid potentially that it won't work out or pan out. So there is a need for you not only to just sort of take it as it comes and to do these things slowly one by one and to confront your fears, pile 2. But also just to really start to look into what it is that's holding you back and release those things that aren't serving you also. Part of self-love is starting to learn that some things just don't work for us anymore. Like for me, I've had to give up certain habits and addictions that just weren't good for me. And because of it, I'm so much happier now. Like they're not holding me back. I don't feel attached to those things anymore. So I sense that not only do you need to take account of your fears, pile 2, but also have a really honest inventory about what things just aren't working for you. And it may be certain habits or addictions that are slowing you down. The way that you treat yourself and that you talk to yourself, potentially being honest with yourself about what your goals are and what you want to achieve with your life. But a group that really has the potential to be in the spotlight and to create something really amazing with this gift, this inspired, divinely guided gift that they have, if they actually start working on it and start dedicating themselves to a higher cause. Lovely. Finally, for you, pile 2, let's get a closeout message from the Universe Has Your Back deck. I see a group that has the potential to be really confident and to share their voice and to be able to guide others on their own path, like the Knight of Pentacles thing. To be a leader like the King of Matches also. But But it's just a group that just needs to like believe in themselves, essentially. And I know that's like a throwaway comment, but you start to believe in yourself when you start to overcome challenges in life, when you start to have confidence in your abilities to look after yourself by overcoming certain challenges on your own. Your confidence grows. So it's time for you to face your fears and know that you are divinely guided and inspired. Your card, in any moment I can surrender to the power, presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness, right? Which is a beautiful card, just confirming the need for you to like surrender certain things that aren't within your best interest pile too, and to know that you are actually being divinely guided by the universe or your spirit guides here. Surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. I need for you to really take some time out to like look within, to face your fears, and to work out what it is that you want, and to also call upon your guides for information to guide you on your way. They're always just, they're right here on your shoulder, just waiting to answer your calls, basically, pile two. So, give them a dial and say hello. That's all I have for you, pile two. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile three. Hello, pile three, with what I think is an amethyst stone. Please correct me in the comment section if you know what this is, because I don't. It's pretty though. Let's find out what your method of self-love is, what the best modality is for you to give yourself care and to heal, pile three, by looking at your cards, your tarot cards. Oh, you have the Five of Cups. Disappointment, pessimism, and regret. And you have the Strength card in reverse. Weakness, self-doubt, and insecurity. Your Oracle cards. You have the card of self-esteem. Interesting. Card number 21. Confidence. Self-love. There you go. Self-love. Self-worth and pride. I love that the expression self-love came out in a self-love reading. You have the card of embrace meditation. And your final card is cooperation instead of competition. And it says, what's yours is yours, and no one can take it away from you. There's no need to compete, as there's an abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share with others. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. Okay. So I see for you, pile three, a tendency to compare yourself to others quite regularly. And I think that's causing you a lot of grief, because when you have a tendency to always be looking at the other side of the fence to see if the grass is greener, then you'll never be satisfied with what you've achieved and what you have on your own. You've got here the Five of Cups, and it says disappointment and pessimism. And also with the Strength card here, weakness, self-doubt, I sense that you've tried to achieve some certain things recently, and maybe they haven't given you, let's say, the rewards that you were expecting. You've been working hard on something, and potentially it hasn't actually sort of brought in the level of rewards that you had anticipated. And because of that, you've been looking around and comparing yourself to what other people are achieving that are doing similar things. And I sense that it's just causing you a bit of grief. You're a little bit annoyed or perturbed by the lack of rewards. And I think it's because when you put out sort of a lacking energy, when you're constantly looking at other people's efforts and what they're achieving, the universe sends that energy back to you by only giving you certain rewards. If you're constantly waiting for something to come in, then you're in this energy of not having it and wanting it. So the universe sort of matches that by making you wait and only giving you little bits at a time. What you need to do, pile 3, it's pretty clear from these cards. So what you need to do is to just be really grateful for what you have already and to sort of focus on yourself, focus on your own goals and your own achievements. So start to see every minute sort of completion of an effort like as a success. Whenever you are grateful for everything that you achieve and sort of start to tick off those things on your list, then you can see that you're actually making strides and that you are actually achieving certain things. And when you are grateful for what you actually achieve, the universe will start to match that energy that you are radiating of gratitude and start to give you more and more, because it's as if you already have enough. When you come from a place of being grateful for what you have and as if you have enough, then the universe will start to give you more. It's the law of attraction, essentially. There is also a need for you to, I think, be a little bit kinder on yourself. I do see here with the card of embrace meditation that you probably have a tendency, pile 3, of being quite critical on yourself when you don't actually achieve your very high standards. I do see a group here that has expectations of amazing things. You're a go-getter and you want to really achieve amazing things in this life. There's a certain goal that you've set at a lofty height, and that's amazing. I'm not criticizing that at all. I think we should all try and be the best version of ourselves and really work towards some high goals, because life is just a once in a lifetime opportunity, right? Like, we're here to see what we can do and to really play this game like full throttle, if you ask me. So it's great to have amazing goals, but instead of getting disappointed when you get setbacks or you don't actually achieve what you expect in a certain amount of time, I think try to be grateful and not to be so critical on yourself. Don't allow yourself to get in your head and start criticizing yourself for not attaining certain goals that you may have achieved that you may have set in a certain time frame. Because it's only going to lead to disappointment, right? It's only going to lead you to feeling really shit about yourself. This is why I sense that you do have a bit of a low self-esteem at the moment, as if nothing is actually working out for you, and you're taking that on personally, as opposed to separating yourself from your efforts and your career or whatever it is that you are working on. Just know that is part of that. Those two things are separate. Who you are and your self-worth is separate from your achievements. I mean, I know that feeds into pride and self-worth too, but just because something isn't working out for you or you haven't received the rewards yet that you are hoping for doesn't mean that you're a failure or that you don't have something to give, because you do. It's time for you to really try and change that mindset. I see a group that could really get a lot of benefit from positive affirmations. In the morning when you wake up, start to list, say, 7 things that you are grateful for that day, whether it be a good night's sleep, potentially, the sun rising, a beautiful family around you to support you, the air that you breathe, food on the table, or a nice bed to sleep in. These are things that if we are grateful for, the universe will start to reward us with more and more things to be grateful for, essentially. Because this is who you're supposed to be, pile 3. You're supposed to be this really radiant woman that is full of confidence and just embraces life, knowing that she has such amazing things to offer other people and the world. So positive affirmations are a way to start the day in a really positive mindset. It might also be worth maybe listening to positive affirmations on YouTube on your way to work, or as part of your morning routine when you're in the shower or something like that. There is also a need for you, potentially, pile 3, to start meditating if you haven't, or to really sort of focus more on your meditative practices. Undertaking practices like mindfulness or meditation will help to like shut down those negative thoughts in your head. Meditation is all about trying to clear your mind or to focus on one thing so that you don't allow other external thoughts to really come in and to set you off kilter, basically. So undertaking like practices like meditation or going for a walk, listening to music, reading a book in a quiet space, mindfulness, these activities will help to sort of switch your mind off any sort of negative thoughts about not being successful or about not achieving what you perceive that you should be. And once again, to bring the focus back to you with self-worth here and self-love, bring it back to yourself and not to focus so much about what other people in your niche are trying to do and what they're achieving, because that will only lead to like disappointment and self-doubt, feelings of insecurity and lacking, basically. And also just to not get too caught up on any disappointments that you may have. Just remember that every day is a new day. When the sun rises again, we get a new chance. So try and let go and move on from any past disappointments, because your time is coming, I sense, pile 3. You're meant to be this woman that's standing here with a lot of confidence and pride. On that pile 3, let's get some further messages about how you can offer yourself some self-love from the Commonplace Tarot deck. I do see here also a lot of like angelic figures. So you've got what looks like an angel meditating there in the Embrace meditation card. The woman in the self-esteem card looks as if she could be like an angel, like an earth angel, basically, full of confidence and happiness and radiating like positive energy to those people around her. And then you've also got 3 angels playing music, like the muses there in the card of cooperation instead of competition. So I sense that for you, pile 3, that you're very connected to your angels or your spirit guides too. So you should really try and tap into that inner wisdom that you have and those messages that you're receiving from your angelic realm. A group that also has a lot of wisdom to offer to other people. I think when you get through and heal from these perceived disappointments that you've had, pile 3, then you can impart this wisdom onto other people too and tap into that connection to be like a conduit for the divine and be able to share this wisdom with other people on how they can achieve their goals too and overcome their own perceived disappointments. To turn the strength card in the upright position, basically, and embody like confidence and compassion for yourself and others. Okay, so your first card that came out there. Oh, you have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And your final card, there we go. Oh, it's the Death card, okay. So clearly there's a rebirth coming here for you, pile 3. Doing this this inner work, learning to love yourself, to be kinder to yourself, and to focus on your own self-worth and not comparing yourself to other people will take you through like a birth, a rebirth. On the other side of death, right, is the rebirth. So when you start, a fresh start, that I sense that you can't really avoid. I sense that you've been so disappointed in yourself recently with things that haven't worked out or perceived failures, comparing yourself to others and always falling short. That there's only one way to go up. There's only one way to go from this, and that's up, basically. To offer yourself some self-love, to be compassionate and kind to yourself, like the Queen of Pentacles here in reverse, which is all about, for me, self-love, doing those things that bring you comfort and confidence too. The Queen of Pentacles is a very decadent type of archetype that really looks after and pampers herself. So it's time for you to do those things that you actually really love also and bring it back to yourself right now. Like having a hot salt bath with a glass of wine with some beautiful meditation music, or going on a holiday, spending time with some friends and going out for dinner, and just sort of focusing on your own needs and looking after yourself and being kind to yourself right now. Finally, for you, pile 3, let's get a further message from the universe, just some further insight and wisdom to end the reading. I do see here a very emotional group too, and I say that because you've got the moon here in the Embrace Meditation card, you've got the moon in the Death card, and what looks like a moon also, like the orb or the pentacle and the Queen of Pentacles. So a group that could really delve into some inner wisdom and knowledge there also, but a very emotional group that tends to get down on themselves really easily, but on the flip side has the capacity to be really radiant and vibrant and to be extremely happy and grateful for what you have in life and share that with other people around you. There's your card. And it says here, my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. Okay, that's beautiful with the moon there also. Strong connection to the moon too. You may be up and down with the moon cycle, so it might be worthwhile for you also, pile 3, to really focus on when you feel the changes with the moon cycles, like if you feel a lot more energized during the full moon phase and maybe a lot more sort of withdrawn and needing rest and time to recuperate during like the new moon or towards the new moon anyway. But also, the more that you put in and have faith in the universe and trust in the law of attraction and be kind to yourself, focus on your own needs and have faith that you can achieve your goals when you actually dedicate time to your own needs, I sense a lot of happiness and success for you, pile 3. Yeah, times are coming for you, pile 3. That's all I have for you. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to pile 4. Hello, pile 4. With this green crystal, I thought it might be howlite, but maybe it's like aventurine or something like that. I know that's aventurine. It's similar. Anyway, if you know what it is, let me know in the comment section, please. Anyway, pile 4, let's find out how you can offer yourself some self-love, what your modality of caring and healing is. By looking at your cards. Oh, you have number 27, emotional balance, stability, harmony, peace, fluidity. This card always reminds me of the Ace of Cups, like inspiration, feeling love and alive again. Your next card is number 21, love your body. Your tarot cards. You have the Page of Cups. Vulnerability and possibility. Curiosity. Oh wow, you have the Queen of Cups too. Awesome. Compassion, calm, comfort. Along with the emotional balance card there with the cup. Lots of water energy. And your final oracle card, is exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels, and the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you look forward to exercising and it becomes its own reward. Okay. What I do see here, pile 4, forgive me for my directness, but I see a group that potentially has some body issues or a little bit body conscious. There may be some things about the way you look or that you perceive about the way you look that you are a little bit upset with or dissatisfied with, it affects your self-esteem, I sense. Maybe you feel that there's things that you could work on, especially with the exercise to increase your manifestation abilities. And with the Love Your Body card, there's things that you could work on or change about your body image that you sense would bring you a lot more happiness or peace. But just remember that it's only your own perception of the way you look, that how you perceive the way you look is not always how others see you either. And that beauty isn't skin deep. There's more to us than just our physical body. But I sense that this is a group that could do with doing some things to really look after your health and well-being. That is one way for you to really bring self-love into your life and to heal from your own sort of poor perception about the way you look potentially. Things like, well, clearly like exercising more regularly. And it says here, choose a fun activity so that you look forward to doing it every day and it becomes its own reward. Like for me, I used to have some issues in my past with feeling down about the way I looked, but I really got into exercise through like playing competitive sports, like playing tennis in a social group and then playing indoor netball too, which was highly it required a lot of energy actually. It was really, really fast paced and really great. But I thoroughly started enjoying both the social aspects of meeting people, playing those sports, but also just the competition brought out the best in me and was really good for not only about like looking after your health, but really good for my self-confidence too, like burning off that anxious energy that I have was one way for me to look after myself also. But I do sense here also a group that can sometimes get out of balance emotionally. So you've got here emotional balance, stability, harmony, peace, and fluidity. But you also have both the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups, lots of water energy, indicating a group that has the ability to be really sensitive, that can feel extreme emotions, that is almost quite empathic and has the ability to sort of feel strongly other people's pains and trauma. When somebody is feeling unwell or is feeling down, you really take on that and empathize quite strongly for those people. And maybe that's not so good in some ways for you, Pile 4, because it sort of drains your own energy. You start to take on other people's sort of problems too much. So part of what you need to do is to set healthy boundaries, Pile 4, in terms of looking after your own auric field and your own energetic field to take some time out from caring for other people and look after yourself, to reconnect with your own inner self, and to recharge by doing things that you love, like maybe reading a book out in nature or going for a walk on the beach or taking the dog for a walk, something like that, that just, you know, raises your energy levels again so that you're not sort of depleted by those emotional concepts that you've taken on from other people, because you are quite empathic and very, very sensitive. A group that probably actively needs to try and stay in emotional balance. I sense that you have the tendency also, Pile 4, to get quite upset when things don't work out, or when people let you down, you can get really quite distraught and disappointed in them. So a group that really needs to be quite mindful of looking after your own emotions so that you don't overreact in some situations, because you are a very compassionate and loving individual here. And being calm is your natural state. Emotional balance is your natural state. So when you do get off kilter and start to react quite strongly to things, I sense that you then end up being quite disappointed in yourself for doing that. So a group that needs to be quite mindful of always maintaining emotional balance. I see a group here that also does have the ability to sort of help lift other people's sort of spirits also. You're such a kind, caring, and understanding individual that you have the ability to make other people feel a lot better when they're feeling down too, Pile 4. However, that's not really about you and healing your own sort of providing self-care to yourself. So let's move on from that. What I do see also is a group that's very creative. And I say that because you've got here the Page of Cups being a very creative individual, along with what I see here in the Love Your Body card. You have here like sheet music. It looks like sheet music to me anyway. It could actually be some sort of mathematics or something, but I see sheet music here. So a group that's very creative, that you may have some creative passions and talents that you like to undertake that might sort of switch your mind off and help you sort of focus and recenter, like listening to music, or maybe singing could be a passion of yours, I sense. Writing, or doing some sort of artistry like painting or knitting or something like that. A group that really can like reconnect to yourself by undertaking certain passions of creativity. Interesting. But a group that needs to not be so hard on yourself too. Know that you have a lot to offer. If you do have some feelings of things about yourself that you wish you could change in the physical sense, then maybe it is time to consider undertaking some sort of regular exercise, or doing something actively once a week or even once a day, like maybe getting a manicure or a makeover or something like that. That will help sort of raise your emotional levels back to that person of being really confident and vibrant. On that, pile 4, let's get some further messages about how you can provide self-love to yourself from the Commonplace Tarot deck. I realize that was tautological, that sentence. I love that you have both the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups too, indicating that you've done a lot of self-work, I sense too. Pile 4, you've gone from being the Page of Cups and sort of moved into that Queen of Cups energy, which is a lot more emotionally balanced, knows who you are. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And it's starting to realize that you do need a bit of downtime to sort of look after your own needs. Highly intuitive and empathic group. Okay. So the reason I'm saying, oh, wow, is because the Queen of Pentacles came out in pile 3. Except they had it in the reverse position, indicating self-love. You've got the Queen of Pentacles indicating that you love spending time with others and undertaking activities that bring you joy on your own. So there's a group here that really is quite creative and passionate too. The Queen of Pentacles is also a group, is also the archetype of a really compassionate, generous and kind individual that likes to share her wealth with her family and her friends, but also is quite decadent and likes to spend time doing things that bring self-love and joy and satisfaction, like maybe getting a makeover, or indulging in a glass of wine, watching a beautiful movie, reading a lovely book or something like that. And you also have the Page of Pentacles. Oh my God, that's amazing. What a synchronicity you have there. So you've got both the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups, and both the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles all in the upright position. A group that knows how to look after themselves, I sense already, really, pile 4. You already know what you need to do. You've already got that wisdom inside of you about how to care for yourself, how to look after your own needs too. So a group that probably likes to put money away for a rainy day. So you've always got that in the background, that likes to like save money for like your future, basically, but also likes to spend money on themselves too sometimes, so that you know that, you know, looking after yourself and doing those things that bring you joy and happiness are just good for everyone around you, basically, because when you're in a higher vibration, you can radiate that to other people and you just don't piss them off, basically. Finally, for you, pile 4, let's get a further closeout message from The Universe Has Your Back deck. But the Queen of Pentacles is the archetype, really, of just being confident and having everything that she needs. She looks after her own needs, both financially, physically, mentally. So I sense that you're moving into that. You've started looking after your own needs now, but you just need to be mindful of continuing not to overreact to certain situations and to not be so hard on yourself too. You have the card of the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. Interesting. I'm really not surprised to see that at all, Pile 4. With the card of compassion here and the Queen of Cups, you've got the Page of Cups, you've got the emotional balance card here, a very empathic and loving group. So for you, it's just making sure that everything that you do comes from a place of love, both self-love, but also love for other people. Because your mission in life, I sense, Pile 4, is to actually provide love and compassion to other people, but you just need to make sure that you continue to do that for yourself so that you can refill your cup, so to speak, and that you have enough energy and compassion and love to give out to other people. And just focus on your own needs too by getting enough exercise and doing those things that just bring you joy. That's all I have for you, Pile 4. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you in the next reading. Thanks, bye.